Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Emily's Upcycled Home, where I take thrifted and salvage items and create beautiful home decor pieces. We're going to transform these pieces here using some fusion milk paint, giving them a chippy textured look here. Let's go ahead and jump into our first project here, which are two salvage legs here. I went ahead and cut off the tips of these. I'm going to use that for a separate project, but we are going to come in with Fusion's milk paint in the color raw silk. Now, if you haven't used milk paint, please don't be scared of it. It creates a beautiful texture, beautiful crackle effect here, and of course, it is going to give you a different look each time, but it is a fun paint and texture to build up using layering technique that I'm using here, as well as coming in with my heat gun to activate that paint to create that chippy, crackle, and texture look that I love. Now, for the fusion products that I am using on today's video, I will have a affiliate link down in my descriptions where you guys can purchase these as well. Now, as far as my technique coming in and painting these pieces, I am coming in with a layer technique, just layering up my milk paint and coming in with my heat gun and drying up that paint to create that crackle and chippy effect. Using a heat gun, I find, gives you the best effect here, and layering up your paint also gives you that crack, that extra texture and caked on paint look that I like. That old pieces usually have lots of layers of paint and a chippy kind of finish. So that is the look we're going for these pieces here. Now, as far as your paint is concerned, it's a 1-to-1 ratio of milk paint and water. So here are our pieces all painted up and all dried, and you can't really see all the texture here on the camera, but I promise you guys it's full of texture. It has some crackle and it has a lot of detailing to it that I really enjoy on this piece. For the base and for the top, I'm coming in with just some wood rounds that you can buy at Hobby Lobby or your local craft store in the wood section. I am going to apply wood glue to each one to have that glue to the top and bottom base of our candle stands here, or just our stands, and to secure that hold even further, I am coming in with my brad nail gun and I am going to attach it and secure these with some nails. Now, this is our bases glued on, and to age up this wood, I am coming in with DIY dark wax and applying that as usual, and going to wipe off all the excess so that we don't have a filmy residue left on top. And you just apply your dark wax on like any other wax and wipe off the excess with a lint-free rag. And this project is complete. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. And make sure that you're enabled your YouTube notifications on your mobile devices so you don't miss any of my videos. Second project, I'm coming in here with these lamp bases. I did order these off of Whatnot, and they turned them into candles, but that all fell apart. So we're gonna go ahead and change them up and make them mine. So I'm coming in with some fusion paint color in the Stockholm green. And once again, if you have not used fusion milk paint, you use a 1-to-1 ratio of powder to water. Mix that up thoroughly, let that set for a few minutes and let it thicken up. And once you start to use it and it sets aside for a few minutes, you want to have a kind of melted milkshake consistency to your paint. And my process here is just kind of layering it on really thick. Whatever happens here with your milk paint. Remember, it's very unpredictable. It's going to crackle, it's going to chip, it's going to do whatever it wants to do. But I layer this up and I come in with my heat gun to help that crackle and that chipping process and help that cake on kind of paint look that I like going on, so that paint dries caked in its spots here. I'm going to continue on with my heat gun, let this piece dry, watch it do its crackle thing. I will come in with just my finger or a paper towel, wipe off those little bits of flakes that are happening, and then I will go ahead and repeat that process of layering on some more paint, coming back in with my heat gun, having that layered, thick, crusty paint kind of look, as well as creating some crackle and a chippy effect here. And you'll go ahead and repeat this process until you like the look of your product. And once I have that finished look that I want, I will come in and go ahead and seal this piece. But to get the look I want, it does take quite a bit of layering and quite a bit of heat gunning and wiping off. And you just kind of repeat that process, you guys. It's going to take a minute, but I promise the end results are beautiful. So once again, after I have this all finished and I have it where I want, I come back in with my rag or my finger and just kind of help the little flakes move off the piece here, just so that when I come in and seal it, those little flakes are not there. I also come in with my paper towel there, and I think this is a finished look, or maybe not. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit more paint here, come in with that heat gun, and then I'm not going to put so much heat on this last layer, leaving it to somewhat dry on its own, because I don't want it to continue to have that harsh crackle that I have done on the first couple of layers. So I'm hitting that softly with my heat gun, wiping it off again, and this is where I'm going to stop. And there is all our texture. And for our second stand, I am going to come in and repeat that process as well, layering, heat gunning, layering some more, wiping off the little chippiness, and then coming in and let these thoroughly dry, and we'll come back in and seal them. So as far as the tops, I thought I was going to come in with some wood rounds, but I decided to go with another route because I couldn't find the screws that would properly attach this for secure holds. But as this already dried, I'm coming in with some DIY clear wax. We are going to go ahead and seal both of our little brass bases here. And then we're going to come in with some nest and decorate those up and attach those to the top of our stands here. Now, if you're interested in purchasing this nest, that'll be also with my affiliate link down in the description. Along with the paint products, it's all in that one place. And I got these little pieces of greenery off of a whatnot sale, and I'm just picking it apart, putting in these greenery leaves and this soft, pretty yellow tone here that I think pairs perfectly with this like greenish kind of turquoisey color that I have on the stands. And I'm not going to glue these in. I'm just going to go around in one direction, tucking in those greenery pieces as well as those little yellow flowers. I will come in with my hot glue gun here, put some hot glue on the base of the piece, on the back of the nest, and making sure like I'm cupping that nest around the post of the stand, holding that in place while it dries so that I have a firm hold onto that nest and the stand. Coming in and adding one single large egg, adding a little hot glue on that as well, shaping my nest a little bit. Now I should have came in and added this one before I glued on the nest, but here it is. I'm adding the second leaves and the second floral arrangement here, doing the same process of layering that in one direction around the nest, tucking it under the wire and not gluing in those sprigs just in case somebody wants to go ahead and change them out. Come in with that little egg, once the second egg, and adding some extra glue all around the base of the piece there, making sure our nest wraps around our base. And then this project is complete. For project number 3, I'm coming in with that same fusion paint color, and this was a nest, and I took it apart to make different parts. And if you watched my corbel or my bookend videos, the little birds that were also a part of this nest. If you missed that video, I'll go ahead and link that in the description. So to not bore you guys more with painting, I come in here again and do that same technique we did on our stands, layering up the milk paint, coming in with the heat gun and giving this all a chippy look here. Just going over this edge detail so that it's a little bit more pronounced. I like a very caked on milk paint look and a very chippy distressed look also. I come in with a piece of sandpaper just to help it out just a little bit more and expose some of that undertone from our original nest or our original birdcage color. And I'm just going ahead and continue that process of sanding until I have the look that I like. Now, once this is done, I am going to go ahead and give this a sealing coat with that same DIY clear wax. And I don't have a round, so I'm thinking I can go find a book in my stash to decorate up and use it as the base. So looking through my stash, I found this book here, and I'm going to go ahead and give this a layer of paint. And I am coming in with Victorian Lace by Fusion, and this is an all-in-one paint, so you no need to put a sealer on top of this. So I'm putting this white paint on top so that when I come in with my decoupage paper, which are my music sheets that I want to cover this book up with, that blue tone of the original book color does not seep through that paper. Don't forget to get the inside edges of your book as well. And as far as coming in to cover this book, I'm coming in with some vintage music sheet paper that I have in my stash. And once again, you guys, me and paint and letting it dry, it doesn't really work out too often, but I'm going to come in with just regular Mod Podge you can get at any craft store, and we are just going to layer up that Mod Podge and layer up our vintage music sheets here until the book is thoroughly covered, tucking in wherever I need to tuck. And I do use 3 sheets of paper here just to cover the full of the book and cut off all the excess that I do not need. And to give this a firm hold, I go ahead and tuck over all of the edges of the paper, decoupage that in to give it a proper hold. And now where the seam is at, I'm going to make that the bottom of the book here. And as far as this one is concerned, I go ahead and rip off that excess. And I repeat the process all around the edge of the book, making sure all the corners are tucked and all the paper is properly sealed. Now I want to come in and put a bunny instead of a bird under that nest that we created. And I'm coming in with that same Victorian Lace by Fusion, layering that paint up on my little bunny here. And I'm going to use a paper towel and wipe off some of that excess just to expose that brown tone underneath. Now I'm just using that brush, layering up and bringing in my napkin and pulling off some of that paint once again to expose some of that brown. I go ahead and come in with that leftover paint on my brush and hit the rest of the pages of my book. And once again, dinging this up with DIY dark wax. I like grungy things, I guess, so I come in with dark wax a lot. I love to use that as you see on other videos, but we're going to go ahead and layer that up, coming in with a napkin and removing off all the excess of the pieces. Now, as far as the inside of our little decor piece here is concerned, I'm coming in with some greenery and some floral wire, and I'm going to just make a little wreath here so our bunny can sit inside. I'm not sure where this greenery came from. It probably came from a whatnot sale and it was stuffed into something. So I went ahead and pulled that piece apart, coming in with my floral wire, going in one direction, wrapping around the ends of each greenery piece, and finishing it off and wrapping that wire and combining both edges. Now, I'm not looking for a perfect ring here. I kind of want it very organic and very messy in the center here. And I do add that little cloth doily there just to add in a little bit of softness. I come in with some Dollar Tree carrots and add those in. Off camera, I add a little rose and a bow, and I'm layering this up. I don't want to glue anything in. That way it has the option to be changed out easily. And here are our finished projects. What was your favorite project? Leave me a comment down below. And if you like this video, leave me a like and a thumbs up. Thank you for joining me here at Emily's Upcycled Home. And for more DIY videos, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys all on the next one.